Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of Taste Test right here on youtube.com/Shaunosaurus where I tried the weird, the wonderful, and the limited edition. If you'd like to see more, be sure to scroll down, subscribe, and ring the bell. You'll be notified when I post new videos. And if there's something you'd like to see on the channel or on the show in a future episode, be sure to let me know what it is and where I can find it, and you might see it on a future episode of Taste Test. Today, we have a couple of fun finds. Both of them unexpected, but for kind of like different reasons. First up, we have a fun find in the form of... that was not a good... Fun find in the form of... I like alliteration. Believe it or not, I wrote a report on alliteration in like my freshman year of high school, because I do like that type of wordplay. Anyway, the first is in the form of Raisin Bran. I eat a lot of Raisin Bran, like a lot of it. I am like an old fogey, just eating Raisin Bran and rice checks. That's what I'm eating. But they have a maple flavor, new maple, that says family size, new maple flavor of Raisin Bran. So we're going to try that. This was a random find at Walmart. I just kind of happened to see it, and I grabbed it because I like maple flavor and I like Raisin Bran. So this one hopefully is more in the wonderful category. And hopefully it is popular enough that they keep it around if it is a good flavor. If it's not, you can get rid of it, but if, hopefully it sticks around. The second one is a cereal that I had heard about for a very, very long time, or a very long time ago. And I had kind of looked for it and then just given up all hope. Lo and behold, I think the same day that I bought the Raisin Bran, or maybe it was some other crap that I bought, who knows. I buy so much junk. So much junk. Point is, that I'd given up all hope of ever seeing the second cereal. Went to a grocery outlet, and lo and behold, for 99 cents, they had the family size of the IHOP mini pancake blueberry and syrup cereal. So we get to try that today. They had a ton of them. This was a while ago, so I don't know if they're still there. And they are not expired. Always good to check 3 weeks after you bought it from the store. All of these numbers check out. So we're going to try this one as well. This one, I don't know if you're going to be able to find it. Grocery outlet is a fun place to find things like these, but it's like hard to point people in the right direction because grocery outlet is just like a smorgasbord. Like, here's some stuff. Here's some Halloween Rice Krispies or whatever it was. It is some sort of festive Rice Krispies from like months ago. It wasn't recent. It was Valentine's Day 04. Anyway, so we'll be trying both of those. I have my little mini bowl, mini spoon, and obviously, because I planned and prepared very well, a brand new full gallon of milk. So nothing could possibly go wrong here. Let's try. We'll try the Raisin Bran first. What I'm looking for when I open this bag, or smelling for, I'm looking for a strong maple scent. It's gotta overpower the raisins, right? I also need to get some raisins in the bowl. So we're looking and smelling for things. I can't open this bag of cereal. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Give me the tasty treat. Oh my gosh, that is so mapley. I can't open anything on this show, apparently. Alright. Now we have a very, very strong maple flavor. The raisin flavor's there, and I like the way that both of those scents work together. The trick here is going to be to get actual flakes and get a raisin in there. I think there's one that's going to pop out. No? Maybe? Maybe? There's a couple. Now, I specifically like the Kellogg's Raisin Bran because their bran and the raisins are both easy to eat, which, again, sounds like kind of like an old person sort of, it's just easy on my teeth to eat. It sounds like kind of like an older folks thing. But, like, some of the raisins are, like, too tough, and some of the brands just kind of like, eh. But Raisin Bran, Kellogg's Raisin Bran, they're really nailing it. The problem with Raisin Bran is all the raisins soak to the bottom, or sink to the bottom, fall to the bottom, through all the bran flakes. So then you end up with this weird thing where it's like, man, I ate a lot of bran right off the top. And then it's just Raisin Town for the last of it. But hey, that's just how it goes. Really, like I said, really strong maple scent. Let's try a couple pieces dry. Different texture. The bran usually is like kind of thin and flaky, but this has like, probably because the coating of the maple feels much thicker and almost crunchier. Now I'm not getting a ton of maple flavor. I will note that. I should note that. As a man experienced in the many varieties of maple bars, very experienced with the maple flavor, I feel like the maple flavor could be stronger, but also then it would just overload you sense, like, nose-wise, smell-wise. Alright, now for the moment everyone's been waiting for. A man opens a full gallon of milk on a table full of electronics and hopes to not have disaster. I eat so much cereal, and I have eaten so much cereal in my life, throughout my entire lifetime, and I don't know why, but I can never pour milk from a gallon that is freshly cracked very well. Sorry to disappoint you. Did it perfectly because I know how to make that. Boy, that just feels... Let's get the whole gallon of milk off the table. Nailed it. Absolutely crushed it. So let's see what we have here. Try and get that lone raisin in there. Where is it? Raisin. Here, raisin, raisin. Oh, there it is. There it is. What an interesting cereal. I feel like the milk and cereal combination really brings out the extra like crunch aspect of the maple and brings out a little bit more of the maple flavor, which is a positive. Sometimes the milk mutes it. Sometimes it, pairs nicely with it, which it does in this case. But I don't know how much I love the texture. Maybe it's my brain going like, this is wrong, you've eaten so much Raisin Bran. You're a Raisin Bran expert, sir. It could also be that the maple flavoring distribution is uneven. So some parts of it kind of feel more normal, and then other parts of it feel like it's a very big, thick glob on it, and it's just not a consistent layer across the actual bran, which could be part of or exacerbating the funny feeling of the actual crunch of it. Okay. It's good. I wish there were more maple flavor. I my gut tells me that it's missing the maple flavor that would really put it over the top. It's a good idea. I like the concept of, hey, we're going to throw out some more Raisin Bran that's a different flavor profile, has a different, a little bit of a different texture. It has almost like a frosting on it, kind of, sort of. I would probably be the best way to like compare it. And while it smells really good when you crack open the bag, I don't think it backs it up from the flavor profile. I think the scent does a lot of the work to kind of get your taste buds to think about that sort of thing. And maybe I'm, overdoing it or whatever. But it's interesting. I'll give them credit for that, but I don't know that it's executed super well. The milk helps, but it also hinders because the texture is a little bit different and inconsistent. And I think that kind of throws everything off a little bit. I think what some of the frosted like cereals really have going for them, like something like a Frosted Flakes, would be that they have the consistency of the frosting on the flake itself. Like they have that down. They have it figured out. And Raisin Bran's just like, we're putting bran and raisins in a box and shipping it out. We don't have to worry about like frosting or anything. And I think that might have tripped him up a little bit, you know? It's a good try. It's a good try. I'll eat it, but it's not like gonna leap to the front. If this disappeared, I would not miss it. If it was still around, I'd probably buy another box. I feel so very middle on it that I wouldn't notice either way. You know what I mean? All right, let's try blueberry IHOP cereal. Oh, that smells good. Oh man, they're even kind of like little mini pancakes. Good pop of blue, like speckles on them. Solid like purple. Oh, okay. I was expecting something a little fluffier. It's a little denser than I was anticipating. So that was interesting. Big fan of the scent. Blueberry as a smell, very good. Have I ever eaten a blueberry? I'll let you guess. The syrup is there, but it's faint. And I don't know that there's a ton of like... I think the blueberry's more noticeable. It definitely feels like it's three flavors that they tried to balance out the best they could when maybe one of them could have used like a little bit of a kick. And I would argue that the flavor that needed a little bit of kick would be the syrup in it. Like if everything was split at like 33.3%, maybe bump the syrup up to like 36% and drop the like pancake to like 30%. You know what I mean? A little bit of a skew. I think the blueberry is pretty solid. Pretty solid. All right, we have our trusty gallon of milk over here. I have to be very attentive and careful not to pour way too much, because I don't need that much. Okay. Doom ba doom ba doom ba doom. I think the milk mixed better with the maple Raisin Bran more than this one. This one feels like it kind of mutes it. I'm eating a lot of milk, which is, I mean, fine for me because I like it, but I can imagine that being a deterrent for a lot of people if you're like, well, I like a bowl of cereal that tastes like blueberry pancakes, and it's just like, oh, it's just a milk party. The crunch is still weird, and it almost feels like you're eating something stale. It's a fresh box. It's not expired. I want to point that out. And it still has a weird texture to it that just feels like it's not quite right. When I think of pancakes, I think of something fluffy, not something like thick and dense. And I think that they missed the mark on that aspect of it. Even eating it dry is kind of like, ooh, that was a tougher bite than I was expecting. And then you put it in the milk and it almost doubles down on that. Like the milk doesn't lighten it up. It just makes it denser. So I can kind of see why these were, maybe 99 cents at a grocery outlet. And I can understand why they had 75 to 100 boxes. I can understand that. I can get why people weren't super enthused about it. I would guess that a lot of people, like myself, bought one box thinking, hey, this is fun, and then never thought about it again. It's like if I would have felt bummed. I'm glad that I got it, and I'm glad that I was able to try it. But you're really not missing anything if you can't find it. So thank God I bought 2 boxes. So yeah, excellent. All right, let's finish this real quick. That syrup is nowhere to be found with the milk. I mean, just nowhere to be found. The blueberry is severely muted, and the middle of it is just so dense. Not a win here. So, yeah. Okay. So now that you've watched me eat some more food here on the channel, I can give you kind of final thoughts. I think the Raisin Bran maple is the stronger of the two. However, I don't think you're really missing anything by skipping out on both of these. The maple Raisin Bran has a little bit of a weird texture, and I think it's just the maple adds something that makes it a little bit stiffer, that kind of makes it a weird crunch, and so I wasn't expecting that. And I think it pairs with the milk better, but it could have used a little bit more of the maple just in general. On the flip side, you have the IHOP cereal, which is way too thick of a crunch and doesn't have enough syrup. And then you put it in the milk and it doesn't mix super well. And the very minimal syrup flavor that's even there in the first place is just gone. So I don't know. I was hoping that both of these would be at least good, and I was really hoping for the Raisin Bran to be something wonderful that I wanted to like kind of put into my cereal rotation, which is a weird thing to say as a 33-year-old man. Forgot how old I was there for a second. But I think both of them are fine to like, you're not missing anything by skipping them. So I think that's maybe one of the worst things you can say about something is like, hey, you have like the two ends of the scale of like, wow, this is amazing, you have to try it. And then you have something that's like, oh my God, this is so terrible, you kind of have to try it. And then you have like stuff that ends up in the middle where it's just like a shoulder shrug. And those are always the hardest to talk about. I would do it a lot with like movies and games when I did week in review of just like this like thing that this piece of entertainment or gaming content or whatever it was that I would interact with, and I'd just go like, this is so mediocre. And that's how I feel about both of these. Neither of them stand out, and it's a bummer because I had high hopes for both of them. So there you have it. Have you tried or would you like to try the maple Raisin Bran? And did you have an opportunity to try the IHOP blueberry pancake syrup, whatever the heck it's called? It doesn't matter what it's called. Let me know down in the comments below. If you have something you'd like to see on the channel, be sure to scroll down, subscribe. Nope, hold on, hang on, rewind that part. If there is something you'd like to see on a future episode of this show, be sure to scroll down, leave a comment below, and then you might see it on a future episode of Taste Test. The best way to see that future episode back on track is to scroll up a little bit from the comment section, subscribe, ring the bell. You'll be notified when I post new videos. You might see that special little thing that you put down in the comments below or sent to me on a future episode of the show. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next Saturday with another all-new installment of Taste Test, or maybe partially new. Who knows? You'll have to tune in to find out. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bon appetit.